Hello, my name is Glenn Zimmerman. I go by Z-Man of 73. This is my first video. Today is June 18th, 2020. As you know, we are in the midst of quite a few things going on, from the virus, the China virus, coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it, where we've been pretty much locked down for the last few months. Um, I wondered to myself, why would I do a YouTube video? What do I have to offer? Well, I'm a 73-year-old man who has survived all these years. I have quite a background, so to speak. And where I live now, wife and I are both 73. We're one of the youngest couples here. We live in a senior living center, except we live in the independent side. We have a duplex. It's a two-bedroom, two full baths, kitchen, full kitchen, living room, dining room, attached one-car garage. Uh, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. So we're living pretty good. We like it here. We'll probably stay here till our end days, wherever that may be. Hopefully not for another 20 years, maybe. But why the video? Why should I talk to people? Why should anybody watch and listen? Those are good questions, and since I am a youngster here, that brings up the topic of perspective. Now, to some of you watching, especially in your 30s and 40s, I'm a pretty old person. And if you're younger than that, I'm really old. I'm a dinosaur. But whereas the other people live over here that are in their 80s and 90s, I'm just a youngster. So it's perspective. And life overall is perspective. You can make things good or tolerable. You can make things just unbearable if you want. And sometimes it's the same thing with different people making different scenarios. They could both be involved in the same thing, and one is making the best of it and doing pretty good, and the other one is just griping and upset about everything. So, life is perspective. This virus, this lockdown, again, is perspective. You get pretty upset about it, not happy about it, but it's tolerable, and we're managing just fine. It's not like they welded our doors shut like they have in China a few months ago. At least that's what they reported on the TV. Of course, how much can you believe the TV? I try to get my news sources from various ones, everything from looking at CNN and MSNBC and Fox, ABC, CBS, NBC, along with a lot of stuff that's on the internet from perspectives again. And I take all of it with a grain of salt. I don't believe everything I see on YouTube or on the internet. I don't believe everything I see on reported news. It's kind of pick and choose and uh, go from there. I mean, you can definitely live your life one way or another. Looking down here at some notes, trying to say it's my first video, and trying to make it somewhat interesting. The things that everybody tells you to stay away from is politics and discussing religion. really, there's not a whole lot left to discuss that has any consequence or any spice to it, so to speak. You know, politicians, they come in various sizes and shapes, calibers, so to speak, of whether they tell the truth or they don't. A lot of them say one thing to your face and do another. There's very few of them that what they tell you is what they try to do. And again, you've got to pick and choose. I'm not here to say, hey, this one is great, this one's bad. That's entirely up to you. I'm sure that my political views don't go along with a lot of people. I'm pretty much of a conservative. I grew up working for a living my whole life. I was born and raised back in Wheeling, West Virginia. Actually, I grew up for 11 years in a little spot in the road called Clinton, West Virginia. We went to the little elementary school for a while. And Hicks, Sticks. Yeah, Hicks and the Sticks. Yeah, that's part of it too. Got to remember I was born in 1946, so things were a whole lot different. School was a whole lot different. Obviously, we didn't have iPads and smartphones and all this other stuff. Cell phones, Wi-Fi. These are all new things for the last few years by comparison. What am I here to talk about? Well, I'm here to talk about surviving as a senior citizen by most regards, from AARP to Social Security, considered a senior citizen. And how did I survive this many years? And life and times of what's going on today, how am I going to survive some more? Well, there's a lot of things to take into consideration, especially in our world today. With the virus, a lot of people are really scared, really, really scared and fearful. And a lot of them have a right to. I mean, if you have problems medically already, and you catch this, it could be the final blow. I'm one of those. I do have a lot of the things they say you should be very careful because you have these diseases or these problems. That's just the way life is. Like I say, a lot of people, especially over here where in a facility where a lot of the seniors, as I call them, they're scared to death, and it's a shame. It's hard. The relatives, family can't come and visit unless they do it through the window, outside the window of their room. If they do anything, they've got to wear a mask. They're scared, and excuse me, someone's going to come in that has the virus and spread through that place like wildfire. So far, they've been very fortunate. They've taken a lot of measures. I can't go over there. Haven't been able to for a few months now. They don't allow people in unless they are specific caregivers or medical personnel with specific reason, and then they have to take all kinds of precautions too. This is good. This is good. They've managed to keep this facility from having an outbreak. Although in other towns we see the places that have packing plants and places that pack fish, places that pack produce, where they're working in close quarters, it's spread like wildfire. They've had several outbreaks. They just had an outbreak just in the last few days in a part of our state. Um, it's not good. It's not good. And then you throw on top of this virus all of these protests. No, there's nothing wrong with protests. Protests are fine. That's our right. That's our First Amendment right to assemble and to protest. Free speech. That's great. When it turns and it goes into looting, rioting, vandalizing, and destroying property, that's a different ballgame. That's criminal. That's not protected under the First Amendment. Okay, those are criminal violations, and they should be subject to being arrested and properly prosecuted through the justice system. But we see a lot of that it's just they turn the other cheek, they turn a blind eye to it. So you wonder, what's this world coming to? Especially when you get older, what's going on here? This just seems upside down. It seems backwards. And of course, where I live here on the West Coast, and, up in the Northwest, and we have this thing called the Cascadia Subduction Zone, which they experts all tell us that we're way overdue for a major earthquake, like a 9.2 earthquake, which would be extremely devastating. I happen to live on the west side of I-5 by several miles, and they say everything west of I-5 is basically going to be a disaster zone. Bridges are all going to fall down. Maybe not all, but most of the bridges are going to fall down. The highways are going to be wrecked. The utilities are going to be decimated. The water lines broke. The gas lines broke. Electricity won't be around. It'll be a bad situation, a very, very bad situation. But that's just something that's possible. Who knows? It may happen while I'm on this making this video. It may happen 50 years after I'm deceased. Who knows? No one knows. And get worried about things. My grandfather raised me, my grandparents raised me till I was about 11, and from a baby right on through. And it's back in the 40s and 50s now. And my grandfather taught me a lot of things. And one of the things he taught me was you don't worry about things you have no control over. For example, that would be once you get on an airplane and you're flying, there's no reason to worry about it because you're not driving the plane. Okay, if an engine goes out, you can't fix it. Uh, the same thing with you driving your car. You're going down the street, you're going down the highway, and that semi comes across the lanes and takes you head on. There's no control of that, so you don't need to worry about it. All you do when you worry about things is put more stress on your body, and I personally believe you reduce your life by worrying. But yet you can't go through with just total ignorance and bliss. You got to pay attention to things, and you got to do your best to avoid situations and avoid the problems. And I consider myself a survivor. And just like with this so-called, not so-called, but the Cascadia subduction zone and the possibility of having an earthquake sometime, uh, we set aside some supplies, and I think everybody should. I don't care where you live. There may be a power outage. I was just looking on a news thing just a little while ago, and one of the things they were talking about is that China's threatening to have a weapon that they'll take out our electric grid. There'll be a blackout. There'll be no power. And with no power, that means there's no nothing. There's no gas pumps to pump fuel. There's no refrigeration. There's, you name it, we're tied to it. There's no communications. There's no banks. There's no ATMs working. You just go down the list. You can't go to the grocery store unless you got cash because credit card's not going to work, and unless they take the cash. And it just on and on and on. And of course, if there's no refrigeration and there's no way to pump fuel into the trucks, then the trucks can't deliver the groceries that you buy. And so it's a cascading thing, and it goes down. But anyhow, I don't want to talk about just nothing but doom and gloom. I want to talk about, and I will in the future, talk about how we survive these things. Some things, common sense things that we should be doing in order to survive. And of course, the most important thing to me, the very, very most important thing to me, is put your faith in Jesus Christ. He is the way, the truth, and the light. And no one comes through him. No one comes to his Father, God, except through him. That's my belief, and I hope that you believe it too. With that, I'll say good night until the next time.